Welcome to Feluna, decoding your cat's secret language. Have you ever watched your cat walk into the room with its tail held high like a little flag of confidence? Or maybe you have seen that same tail suddenly puff up like a bottle brush after a loud noise. Perhaps your cat was resting peacefully beside you, and then the tip of its tail began to twitch, slowly at first, then faster, as if some hidden thought had crossed its mind. At first, these movements may seem random. A tail rises, a tail curls, a tail swishes, a tail shakes, a tail disappears beneath the body. To many people, it looks like simple motion, just another small habit in the mysterious life of a cat. But to your cat, the tail is not random at all. It is a message. It is one of the clearest emotional signals your cat has. Cats may not speak with human words, but they are communicating almost every moment of the day. They speak through their eyes, their ears, their whiskers, their posture, their breathing, and, very importantly, their tails. That beautiful tail is not only used for balance when they leap across furniture or walk along narrow spaces. It is also a living emotional instrument, changing shape and movement according to what your cat feels inside. A raised tail can say, "I feel safe with you." A curved tail can say, "I'm curious." A wrapped tail can say, "I trust you." A whipping tail can say, "Please stop." A puffed tail can say, "I'm scared." And a tucked tail can whisper, "I don't feel safe right now." When you learn to read these signals, you begin to understand your cat before the scratch, before the bite, before the hiding, before the fear becomes too much. You stop guessing and start listening. And for a cat, being understood is one of the deepest forms of love. The first thing to understand is that a cat's tail should never be read alone. It is part of a bigger language. A cat's ears, eyes, whiskers, body position, and environment all work together to create the full meaning. A tail movement that means excitement in one situation may mean irritation in another. A twitching tail while watching a bird outside the window is not the same as a twitching tail while being touched too much. A low tail in a relaxed cat may not always mean fear, but a low tail combined with a crouched body and wide eyes can tell a very different story. This is why reading your cat is not about memorizing one fixed meaning. It is about learning emotional patterns. It is about watching the whole cat, not just one part of the body. Let's begin with one of the most beautiful signs in cat body language: the tail held straight up. When your cat walks toward you with its tail standing tall in the air, this is usually a very positive signal. It often means your cat feels confident, friendly, and emotionally safe. Many cat owners see this when they come home after being away for a while. The door opens, the cat appears, and up goes the tail, straight and proud, almost like a little greeting flag. In that moment, your cat may be saying, "I'm happy to see you," or "I feel comfortable approaching you," or even, "You are part of my safe world." This behavior has roots in kittenhood. Young kittens often approach their mother with raised tails, and adult cats can continue using similar signals with humans and other cats they trust. When your cat lifts its tail while coming toward you, it is not just walking, it is approaching with openness. But the best response is not to rush in and grab your cat. Cats appreciate gentleness. If your cat comes toward you with a raised tail, speak softly. Let your hand rest low and relaxed. Allow your cat to sniff you first. Let the cat decide whether it wants petting, rubbing, or simply a moment of quiet greeting. The raised tail is an invitation, not a command. Respecting that invitation helps build trust. Now, sometimes the tail is raised, but the very tip curves softly forward, forming a shape that looks almost like a question mark. This is one of the most charming tail positions in the feline world. A tail held high with a curved tip often shows curiosity, friendliness, and playful interest. You may see this when your cat explores a new room, follows you into the kitchen, approaches a toy, or comes to inspect something you are holding. The body is usually loose, the eyes are soft, and the cat seems interested but not tense. It is as if your cat is saying, "What is this?" or "What are you doing?" or "I might want to play." This question mark tail is often a wonderful time for gentle interaction. You might offer a toy, start a calm play session, or simply talk to your cat. But again, the golden rule is to let your cat choose the level of closeness. If the ears are forward, the body is relaxed, and the eyes are bright, but not wide with fear, the mood is likely friendly. Then there is another tender tail gesture. When your cat wraps its tail around you, perhaps your cat sits beside your leg and lets its tail curl around your ankle. Maybe it rests near your arm and gently lays its tail over you. Or maybe you have seen two bonded cats sitting together, their tails softly touching or wrapping around each other. This gesture can often suggest affection, trust, and social bonding. It is not exactly the same as a human hug, but it can feel very close to one. Cats do not always express love in obvious ways. They do not usually run toward us with wild excitement like dogs. Their affection is often quieter, more elegant, more subtle. A tail wrapped around you can be one of those quiet signs that says, "You are familiar to me. I feel connected to you. I trust being close." When this happens, do not grab the tail. A cat's tail is sensitive, and most cats dislike having it held or pulled. Instead, receive the gesture calmly. You can slow blink, speak softly, or gently pet the cat in a place it already enjoys, such as the cheeks, chin, or between the ears. The important thing is to respect the softness of the moment. Your cat is offering closeness in its own language. But not all tail movement is soft and affectionate. Sometimes your cat's tail begins to move slowly from side to side, while it is lying down. Many owners immediately worry and think, "Is my cat angry?" Not always. A slow, gentle tail movement can mean your cat is focused, alert, or quietly processing something. Imagine your cat lying near the window, watching birds outside. The tail may move slowly, almost like a pendulum. The cat is not necessarily upset. It may be concentrating. It may be listening. It may be thinking about whether that bird is a possible target, even if the window makes hunting impossible. A cat resting on the floor may also move its tail slowly while observing the room. If the body is relaxed, the ears are neutral, and the eyes are soft, this movement may simply show mild interest. Your cat is awake, aware, and mentally engaged. This is where context matters deeply. A moving tail is not always a warning. Cats are complex creatures. Their emotions can be layered. A slow tail may belong to a calm observer, while a sharp tail may belong to a cat that has had enough. That brings us to one of the most important signals every cat owner should recognize: strong tail swishing or whipping. If your cat's tail starts moving sharply from side to side, especially with force, this is often a sign of irritation, frustration, or overstimulation. You may notice this during petting. At first, your cat seems to enjoy the attention. It leans into your hand, purrs, maybe even closes its eyes. But then the tail begins to move. A small flick, then another, then a harder swish. This is the moment many people miss. The cat is often saying, "That is enough," or "I need space," or "This touch is becoming too much." Some cats become overstimulated quickly. They may enjoy petting for a short time, but after a certain point, the sensation becomes uncomfortable. Their skin may twitch. Their ears may turn slightly back. Their body may stiffen. They may look at your hand, and the tail may begin to whip. If the human does not notice these signs, the cat may use a stronger message, a bite, a scratch, or a sudden escape. But the cat did not become mean out of nowhere. The tail was already speaking. The kindest thing you can do when you see strong tail swishing is stop. Remove your hand. Give your cat space. Do not punish the cat for setting a boundary. In fact, respecting that boundary teaches your cat something very important. My human listens to me. And when a cat feels listened to, it becomes more trusting over time. Another dramatic tail signal is the puffed up tail. Most cat owners recognize this one immediately. The tail suddenly becomes big, fluffy, and stiff, sometimes combined with an arched back and wide eyes. This can happen after a loud noise, the appearance of an unfamiliar animal, a sudden movement, or a frightening encounter. A puffed tail usually means fear, shock, or defensive arousal. Your cat's body is trying to look larger. This is a survival response. In the wild, appearing bigger can make an animal seem more difficult to attack. So when your cat puffs up, it is not being silly or dramatic. Its nervous system has entered a high alert state. Many people think a puffed up cat is angry. Sometimes there may be defensive aggression, but fear is often at the heart of it. The cat may feel trapped, startled, or threatened. It may not want to fight. It may simply want the danger to go away. In this situation, do not chase your cat. Do not pick it up. Do not laugh and move closer just because it looks funny. To the cat, the fear is real. Instead, reduce the trigger if possible. Lower the noise. Move calmly. Give your cat access to a hiding place. Let the cat calm down on its own. Safety and distance are the best gifts you can offer in that moment. Now let's look at the opposite image. A tail held low or tucked close to the body. When a cat walks with its tail low, especially if the body is crouched and the head is lowered, it may be feeling unsure, anxious, or uncomfortable. If the tail is tucked tightly near the body or between the legs, the feeling may be stronger. This can happen when a cat enters a new environment, hears unfamiliar sounds, meets a stranger, visits the vet, or encounters another animal. A tucked or low tail often suggests that the cat does not feel fully safe. It may be trying to avoid attention. It may be making itself smaller. It may be hoping not to be noticed. This is not the time to force affection. Do not pull the cat out from under the bed. Do not push it toward a guest. Do not insist that it be friendly. A scared cat needs control. Give it quiet. Give it distance. Give it hiding places. Let it choose when to come out. Cats are deeply sensitive to control. When a cat feels it can escape, hide, observe, and decide, it often becomes braver. But when a cat is forced, it may become more fearful. The tail tucked close to the body is a request for patience. Then there is the small tail tip twitch. This tiny movement can be easy to miss, but it can reveal a lot. A slight twitch at the tip of the tail may mean focus, excitement, hunting instinct, or mild irritation. Again, the meaning depends on the situation. If your cat is sitting by the window, eyes locked on a bird, and only the tail tip is twitching, your cat is likely in hunting mode. Its mind is awake, alert, and concentrated. The body may be still, but the tail betrays the excitement inside. If your cat is watching a toy, crouched low, waiting to pounce, that little tail twitch may be part of the buildup before action. It is a spark of predatory focus. But if you are petting your cat and the tail tip begins to twitch, especially if the body becomes tense, it may be an early warning. Your cat may not be fully annoyed yet, but irritation could be rising. This is the moment to pause and observe. Does the cat lean into your hand, or does it turn away? Are the ears relaxed, or are they shifting back? Are the eyes soft, or are they becoming narrow and tense? The tail tip is like the first line of a sentence. It may not tell the whole story, but it tells you to keep reading. One of the biggest mistakes cat owners make is reading the tail as if it has only one meaning. They think, a wagging tail means happy, because that is often true for dogs. But cats are not dogs. A cat's moving tail can mean many things, and some of them are warnings. A relaxed body with a raised tail often suggests friendly confidence. A soft body with a curved tail may suggest curiosity. A stiff body with a whipping tail often suggests irritation. A puffed tail with an arched back often suggests fear or defense. A low body with a tucked tail often suggests anxiety. A focused stare with a twitching tail tip may suggest hunting excitement. The key is combination. Look at the ears. Forward ears often suggest interest or confidence, while flattened ears can suggest fear, stress, or irritation. Look at the eyes. Soft blinking eyes often suggest comfort, while wide pupils may suggest excitement, fear, or arousal. Look at the whiskers. Relaxed whiskers are different from whiskers pushed forward in intense focus or pulled back in stress. Look at the body. Loose and flowing means something very different from stiff and frozen. And always look at the situation. A cat flicking its tail while watching a toy may be excited. A cat flicking its tail while being hugged by a child may be uncomfortable. A cat with a low tail in a familiar hallway may simply be walking casually, but a cat with a low tail in a noisy, unfamiliar place may be frightened. Your job is not to become perfect. Your job is to become observant. The more you watch your cat, the more you will learn its personal language. Some cats naturally carry their tails higher. Some are more expressive with tail movement. Some are quiet and subtle. Some cats flick their tails often, while others barely move them unless emotions are strong. Each cat has its own emotional handwriting. This is why the best cat owners are not the ones who control their cats the most. They are the ones who listen. So how should you respond to different tail signals in daily life? When your cat approaches with its tail raised, greet it gently. Let it come to you. Offer your hand, speak softly, and allow the cat to decide what happens next. When the tail looks like a question mark, your cat may be curious or playful. This can be a good time for gentle play with a wand toy, a ball, or an interactive object. When your cat wraps its tail around you, receive it as a quiet sign of trust. Do not grab the tail. Enjoy the closeness without overwhelming the cat. When the tail moves slowly and softly, observe the rest of the body. Your cat may simply be focused or thinking. When the tail starts swishing hard, stop what you are doing. Give your cat space before the warning becomes stronger. When the tail puffs up, reduce stress. Do not chase or punish. Let your cat retreat to safety. When the tail is low or tucked, be patient. Create a calm environment and allow your cat to regain confidence. When only the tail tip twitches, check the context. Your cat may be hunting, excited, or beginning to feel irritated. These small choices matter. Every time you notice a signal and respond kindly, you teach your cat that communication works. You teach your cat that it does not need to bite to be heard. It does not need to run to be respected. It does not need to hide forever to feel safe. And over time, this changes the relationship. A cat that feels understood becomes more relaxed. A cat that feels respected becomes more trusting. A cat that knows its boundaries are honored may become more affectionate, not because it is forced, but because it feels safe enough to choose closeness. That is the secret beauty of feline love. Cats do not give trust carelessly. They watch, they test, they remember. They notice whether your hands are gentle, whether your voice is calm, whether you stop when they ask you to stop. The tail is one of the ways they ask. Sometimes it rises to greet you. Sometimes it curls with curiosity. Sometimes it wraps around you like a soft promise. Sometimes it lashes with frustration. Sometimes it puffs with fear. Sometimes it tucks away in uncertainty. Each movement is a sentence in a quiet language. And when you begin to understand that language, your cat becomes less mysterious and more deeply known. So the next time your cat walks into the room, do not only look at its face. Watch the tail. Notice its height, its shape, its speed, its softness, its tension. Then look at the ears, the eyes, the body, and the moment around you. Your cat may be telling you more than you think. A raised tail may be a hello. A curved tail may be a question. A wrapped tail may be affection. A whipping tail may be a boundary. A puffed tail may be fear. A tucked tail may be insecurity. And a tiny twitch at the tip may be the first sign of excitement, focus, or discomfort. To love a cat well is not only to feed it, pet it, and give it a warm place to sleep. It is also to respect its emotional world. It is to understand that behind every movement, there may be a feeling. Behind every signal, there may be a need. Behind every tail, there is a story. And when you learn to read that story, you become more than an owner. You become someone your cat can trust. Here on Feluna, Decoding Your Cat's Secret Language, we help cat lovers understand the hidden meanings behind everyday feline behavior, so you can build a calmer, deeper, and more loving bond with your cat. If your cat often raises its tail, wraps it around you, twitches the tip, or suddenly swishes it when you pet them, tell us in the comments, what does your cat's tail do most often? And if this video helped you understand your cat a little better, please like this video, subscribe to Feluna, and share it with another cat lover. Your cat has been speaking all along. Together, let's learn how to listen,